the Icon Health Committee. Thanks to Allah who has given us His grace and blessing, so we can attend this conference. Welcome, our honorable keynote speakers, Dr. Wai Dimni and Ibu Yani Narni, PhD, who will share their knowledge and research outcomes to our today. Thank you for all participants who attending this event. Today is the last day of Icon Health 2020 event. We will hear the interesting paper about culture and pandemic. The discussion will be conducted by Karyo Rejorainer, who one of the international students from Suriname at Andalas University. He is also an author, poet, and knows several languages such as English, Dutch, Japanese, Spanish, and Indonesian. He got two scholarships from Indonesian government, first to study Indonesian culture in Bali, and then to get bachelor degree at Andalas University. Well, audience, with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I open the third day of Icon Health Conference, and I like moderator to lead this discussion. Mr. Ren, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Well, all right. Thank you very much for introducing me and for opening this event. Good morning
Okay.
to everyone and to our guests, professors, lecturers, students, and everyone else. May I welcome you to the Icon Health 2020, the International Conference on History of Health in Asia. I am your host as moderator, Karyo Richo Rainer, but you can address me as Rain. A little bit about myself, as Miss Devi already introduced me before. I am currently an international student from Suriname at Andalas University in Padang, West Sumatra, Indonesia. I got accepted twice in a row for a scholarship. First, I studied in Indonesian culture in Bali, and secondly, I got accepted to study my bachelor degree at Andalas University. From home, as mentioned before, I am an author, poet. I am also a songwriter, and I have published books as well. I am familiar with the history department. And small introduction about the theme. The history of health is one of many themes in the historical studies or historical science. In pandemics, such as we are facing now, historical health, including the history of medicines, is very important to know how pandemics were solved in the past. Through this, we can learn how to come up with any solution to solve the current problem we are in. Therefore, historians can share about the history of health and the past pandemics. I hereby will introduce our first speaker to share more. Our first speaker is Ms. Yani Narni. Ms. Yani Narni is a lecturer at Andalas University. She graduated from Australian National University for master program and did her PhD program at Deakin University, Melbourne in Australia. Her passions are in film and photography. Just like me, she has directed several documentary films and published several books and papers in international journals. Now, she is keeping herself busy doing historical research on historical health. Please welcome Miss Yani Narni. The mic is yours, Miss Yani Narni.
Sorry, Ryan. I think in the schedule, not me. The first speaker is Mr. Bean.
Oh, wala. Oh, okay. I apologize. I thought it was going to be you. Okay,
Nah,
no problem. Then I will introduce Mr. Beam. Oh, okay. Our first speaker is Dr. Ibim Ni from North Carolina, the United States of America. He was born as the right tribe, if I'm correct with the pronunciation, in the
Rade, Rade.
Rade, Rade tribe in the Central Highlands in Vietnam. He has lived before and after the Vietnam War. He was trained as a medical professional and practiced in a small hospital as a director. Before moving to the States, to the America, Dr. Ibem Ni studied Vietnamese and French in high school. And during his first and second year of university in Vietnam, he learned Russian. When he moved to America, he couldn't practice as a medical doctor for several reasons. One of them is the language barrier. English is entirely different from the medical background he has been obtaining. Restarting from the beginning and going through the process of the US MLE, which stands for United States Medical License. Example, he now works for a living and supports his family with manual labor in the industry as many people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hereby give you Dr. E. Bimni from North Carolina.
Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Good
Lee.
morning. Yeah, actually, you pronounce my name exactly. My name Bim Ni. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Yenny Nani for inviting me to join with this conference. We both know each other's back in July, right? 2018 at the International Network, the Scholar of Genocide Conference Global on the Genocide. And University Marseille in France, it was 2 years now. And I accept for the invitations, and I'm dedicate myself to share the story, one of the group of the people struggling in another part of the world. And we live in we call it North Carolina, and a small city. And we are extraordinary people, live in the very heart of the American societies. And the most vulnerable effect of the pandemic. And there here is the inequality in the primary care and the medical accessible for this population due to the barrier of the language, culture, ethnicity, way of life, and the spiritual belief. So we have struggled with to get information, how to understanding about the coronavirus. We first learned about this back on the March, and the information, because we are as insufficient in English communicating, and a lot of information we cannot catch up. So the news about coronavirus is we spread to family, the member, and accept that the young people is born in this country. It's no problem with there. And I would like like you introduce Olma. I've studied as a medical doctor back in Vietnam, but when moving this country, English entirely different from the medical background that I used to be obtaining. So I need to restart like everybody else. And like you introduced them, that every individual, the medical field want to practice in the United States must go through the process recertified. It's called USMLE, United Nations example, which has a 3-step and 1 year for the practice in the hospital internship. And after the 5 year become a citizen, I took the example, and I almost took the 2-step, and the final application on this, the final step is requiring to have a letter referral from the university original to graduate. So that's mean I come back to Vietnam to get all these things done. Because as I mentioned earlier, because political problems between the Deca people and Vietnamese Communist government, I cannot go back to Vietnam. So I quit for the process testing and start to work with the manual health in the industry. And I want to introduce with you who is the Deca. The Deca is a separate race, has a single origin. They evolve with the same process and stages, and the comparing with the difference among them are significant comparing to with the other ethnicity in the Southeast Asia. We are ethnically distinct from the main group leading Vietnamese, and we call ourselves Nat Dega, and we speak the language called Radi. The member subgroup Chamic belong to the Austronesian language, and we make up one language group in the city called Dak Lak Province in the Central Highland Vietnam. And because the political climate between the Deca people and the communist government, I fled Vietnam and come to the United States. For several reasons, like I say, cannot practice in the America. And the Vietnam War started early in the 1960s, and the land between the North and South Vietnam, so-called the Central Highlands. This land said traditional belonged to the land of the Deca people. The wars Vietnam has inflicted so much, and the people they got stuck between the North and South Vietnam War, and the 90% infrastructure society of the Deca people destroys.
Mr. Beam, my apologies to interrupt you. I
Okay.
believe that you have a PPT, you have a PowerPoint presentation. Would you rather use your PowerPoint presentation?
Okay.
Okay.
So the majority is population is still Vietnam, as I said. And when we move here, the traditional belief of the Deca people is that no separation between the spiritual and the physical world. They believe that the spirit exists in human and the geographical features such as a mountain, river, and their conception about the disease is different totally from those medical science. And the acceptance, the Western way of a treatment is very new from them. The way we used to be live in the simple society, and almost all people is familiar themselves with the symptomatic disease than the rather asymptomatic in the chronic disease. And when moving to the modern society like United States, and the most Deca people exposed with a severe stressful event due to their struggle and to the journey to these countries, and numerous obstacles they must go through without knowledge any sort of support because they have a sort of time to adjust themselves with this new environment. And so this significantly impact on this psychological, physical, and mental health. So when it comes to United States, because I have the knowledge of the medical, and I try to establish an organization as a non-profit organization, try to get the status of federal government tax exemptions, but because we don't have enough the numbers of joins and lack of the medical professional to join, so this organization not to come practice. Back to early day, back in the Central Highland Vietnam, the Deca people had learned first flu they called soja, and they believe it in English is the mean being infected. They believe that the evil spirit passed by the village and make people get sick. And the villager asked people to kill a dog and peel the skin and hang on the front gate of the village as a sign to prevent him from entering, get in and get out. And they were banned traveling from village to another village until the skin of the dog wholly dried. Usually the skin of a dog dry 15 days. And if the people still get sick and die, the chief villager asked the people to evacuate to live in their small farm in the hut of the farm at least a month. When the disease or illness, a sign of illness is obvious, they get notice to come back to the village, to their village. They don't have the biology knowledge earlier, but through this method, and they depend on the antibody on the to have to protect them. So they got people exist in the Central Highland thousands of years without being wiped out by the virus. And today in America, we face the same issue. The first learned the new coronavirus, we had learned from the television information, because like I said, most people not fluency with English, cannot read, cannot communication, so they just spread the word by word. That is the story in America. But we do have a small organization to try to help. They do set up with the for individual need to quarantine themselves and provide a translator, food, material, education, and the case management who affect with the COVID-19. Today, the problem is now is continue to rising, and but actually, what we heard about that is the COVID-19 is a so-called COVID-2, and the several researchers has proposed that that is one more strain, that mutation changing in the how it infectious and deadly it is. But many ideology and many opinion scientists still divided. I have observed with this community in North Carolina, and I have think that what the question is what strain of the genetic coronavirus cause disease in the American data? Why the most of they affected and with the moderate symptoms such as coughing, fever, and clean up within a week? Why American people is with the same number affected, but they have a higher mortality? This is a scientific point I would like to asking and highlight. And I have a question. Do the people have a higher capability to produce antigen to gain with COVID-19 than American people? Or are there differences between the body responding to COVID-19 between Asia and American? So that is why it's the most of our people is just carbo, and we not feel something like a severe disease, including the pneumonia or death for the adult people and the people with existing health condition. So there is a very extraordinary people. That I have a question. Why the world adjusts itself? And then we'll take a moment to go to with normal and simultaneously. The destruction of the coronavirus is a nature even disaster. And we believe sooner or later it will go on. It will be over when vaccine available or until the antibody produced enough in the population. But to us, that is another phenomenon disaster that very much. That is the human-made disaster with the intentional to destroy. We have been experienced with the long Vietnam War, and after Vietnam War, with him, we still survive. But now, if we still survive with virus again, but we cannot survive with the intense and destruction for the human made. That is the main point we concern now in the Diga American. So, so like I say, the behavior destructive, the moral destruction, environment deterioration, and the death of the cultural language identities is not far from the coronavirus. But we still survive, but we cannot survive with this destruction of a human made. And so this point I just want to say, and like you have almost said, so I just thank you. That is our conception with the coronavirus on the rising in America. And like I said today, is to keep dry up, but we are here safe. Maybe, like I say, our God will to save us from the extinction. Yeah, because we are really our generation born over here will be Americanized and they will be never with outside anymore. And that means we are no more existing in this planet. If there is no drastic change both in Vietnam and United States America, even mingling with the blood American or with the blood of Vietnamese cannot save us from this extinction. And so this is the point is the I have emphasis. That's why we Indonesian people still exist 1,000 years without wiping with the virus. And today so many people talk about the virus so severely. Maybe you will guys and we will understand. And I hope that is I will keep continue to reflect with the senator, with all the committee over here and whole church, you can imagine, positive, positive, positive. And when they get out, they just normal. Few people got symptom. And one of close to my friend house, whole family. And they don't need to go hospital. Just sick to feel and they use the what kind of a medicine we use, we cook with the ginger, with the cell, and with the hot pepper, and then just clean up with the little amount of alcohol in the throat. And then most people get over. And even the adult people, 80 years, you can imagine. My neighborhood, husband, wife infected. And we very worried when we read the news. The virus attack most in the adult, but they luckily will go on. And whole my company is not, I mean, there's problem much with this coronavirus. That is we are experience in this America. Even we don't have knowledge, everything scientists, but like I say, the natural believe, we still believe with our body, resistant without the body that we can go through. And I hope over here too, in the Indonesia, a lot of indigenous people, you can imagine how they can exist. The government is maybe wrong step. So let's see the experience. Like I say, we just skin the dog and
Pasnya lari ke series.
that you still not, you still have a time for me to talk.
No. You can speak more. No worries.
Okay.
Plenty time because only two
Okay.
speaker.
Okay. So that is the emphasis. The thing is the world is the dealing with its you will hear some all the step of the government. They're really scary. And you can see at the Italy when the Wuhan virus start from there, most of all these people. And why today we don't separate the old people to quarantine? Why you need to close the school? Why you need to ban the people? The nature disaster will adjust itself. That is the point that we still believe that way. So everyone over here, we don't pray enough. I mean, we don't scale like the information. Some people say maybe this is politics, or some say maybe it's the genetic virus created by the human. Just attack a nation to the nation. That is our conception. So finally, I want to thank and for your listening, and I will keep with this question. And if you have any question, please And I apologize for my English accent as well. Not to be hesitant to have a question asked about how to get people struggle. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Sama-sama. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bimni. Um, for our next speaker, I will introduce for the second time, I guess, our speaker, Miss Yenny Narni. Miss Yenny Narni is a lecturer at Andalas University. She graduated from Australian National University for master program and did her PhD program at Deakin University, Melbourne, in Australia. Her passions are in film and photography, just like me. She has directed several documentary films and published several books and papers in international journals. Now she is keeping herself busy doing historical research on historical health. Please welcome Miss Yani Narli. The mic is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ryan and Rian. Okay, sorry.
Rin.
Thank you very much, Rian. And then I want to talk about pandemic and local wisdom in Minangkabau. Minangkabau is our ethnic in this is the really big ethnic in West Sumatra, and this is the majority ethnic in West Sumatra. And okay, we start now. Research on history of diseases has not been very popular among Indonesian historians. This is likely because historical writings are dominated with political, national, or socio-economic themes. Another obstacle in writing health history is the difficulty in finding theoretical literature and translator resources. However, this does not mean that the theme is attractive and cannot be carried out. The reason learned from the current pandemic is that the study of how history should now be concerned as the disease spread rapidly. Plague is understood in the three tracks. Okay, plague is understood in the three tracks: pandemic, the epidemic, pandemic, and endemic. The terms are distinguished based on the process, emergency, and the area where the outbreak spreads. According to Janov in the book of epidemiology, epidemic is related to infection, or in a broader sense, defined as human infection disease. These diseases are fundamentally different from pathology condition. Change in function or state body part caused by living organisms such as bacteria, protozoa, fungi, virus, worm, and arthropods, which are parasitic and pathogenic. Biology again can cause this disease in their host in human. This is
Hello, Bu Yani. Your audio is on mute. We cannot hear you.
Okay,
okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. Okay, I started again. Is it okay? I still
Okay.
have more time.
Yes, Bu, you have plenty of time.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I started again.
Okay.
Devi, please, for the slide number 2. Okay. According to the Zanov in the book Epidemiology, epidemic is related to infection, or in broader sense, defined as human infection disease. These diseases are fundamentally different from pathology condition caused by living organisms such as bacteria, protozoa, fungi, virus, worm, and arthropods, which are parasitic and pathogenic in human. Disease is caused by these pathogens spread in large number and infect quickly and are unforeseeable in one region or authority. For example, COVID-19 which is believed to have initially emerged and spread in China and unfold and spread into neighboring countries. Ebola in West African country and spread of Zika virus in South America and Central American countries. When the disease only infect and spread in a certain area is called epidemic, and on other hand, epidemic is extension of pandemic is extension of the epidemic. The term pandemic refers to condition when a diseases has spread widely to various parts of the world. For example, HIV, human-immunized HIV virus and COVID-19 will spread to almost all regions of the world in 2020. Therefore, a pandemic is a compelling problem for people in the world. The next step of plague or outbreak is called endemic. The occurrence and pattern of endemic is slightly different from the other two types of outbreak. The emergence of endemic diseases is constant, predictable, and only occur in environment or area with certain characteristics associated with the disease, for example, malaria. Okay, try to outbreak in various parts of the world and the handling. There have been a complete record of when the outbreak of various diseases in the world began. However, some records state that epidemic control measures have the start in the range 900 until 1000 BC. At the time period, the disease was still considered at the field age. However, the China paper had taken clear countermeasure against smallpox, such as inoculating or transferring bacteria from the old medium to the new medium for the health purpose. Meanwhile, at the same time, India argued its people to avoid contact with the rat in effort to reduce the spread of bubonic plague. In several countries in Asia, isolated or despoiled of people with leprosy. Thus, in reality, disease outbreaks have existed and been observed for thousands of years ago by people in various parts of the world. In the 14th and 15th century, outbreak of variant the plague in Europe climbed at last the 25 life. The plague known the Black Death. This is we have a Rovando here, and we got some knowledge from Rovando yesterday. The plague known as the Black Death is thought to have originated in East Asia with spread through the Silk Road. In the span of this century, scientists, especially in Europe, began to understand and formulate the direct contact as a source of disease transmission. Quarantines and several medical treatments to break the chain of spread had begun to be implemented and enforced. Later, another interesting point is outbreak of the Spanish flu. A part of the Russian flu occurred in the 1888. The flu in the 1918 was professional condition meal with very rare mortality rate might only kill at last the 50 million lives, starting from the local spread in the military camp in America in the 1918. This disease later spread throughout the world, including Indonesia. Medical treatment and new discovery in the medicine and serum were part of the management epidemic. Furthermore, in the 20th and 21st century, the world is faced the various viruses such as Chinua, Asian flu, Ebola, and Hong Kong flu. In addition, the last dangerous virus in this decade is COVID-19, which also spread and infect to various regions in Indonesia. Thus, how the experience in dealing with this endemic or pandemic diseases in the context of Indonesia? Not by Fanfiel state that Java was infected with the very virus in the 6042 for the for the 2nd century, this disease has infected many workers in Dili plantation, which resulted in the death of 80 plantation workers, mostly from Java and China. The colonial government imposed strict health control, encouraging nutrition for the worker and those in quarantine. The hospital equipped with a good laboratory equipment, and the government oversaw 6 until 10 plantation has reassured the colonial government success in reducing the death rate of the people from the disease. The same thing happened in this century. In the century which climbed the death of the least 40% of the life in a plantation worker. The introduction of clean and healthy lifestyle to the community as well has changing habit, and the use latrine and or toilet become part of government propaganda. In addition, the government had also introduced the use of vaccine and antibiotic in effort to stop the disease. Okay, and in addition to beriberi, in early 19th century, smallpox epidemic spread from Java to other islands in the Dutch East India and confused the government at the time. Vaccine became the solution for the colonial government to stop spread of the plague. For the Java region, it is carried on in 1905, Maluku in 1818, Bengkulu in 1818, and West Sumatra several outbreaks have also occurred and have become part of historical fact. One of which historical fact, one of which is smallpox. Although in early 19th century, smallpox was still rarely found in West Sumatra. To prevent the spread of the disease in the west coast of Sumatra, the colonial government inoculated vaccine against smallpox in Padang, 1890. Sorry, I'm really hard with the number. In the same hand, vaccination was also carried out in the city of Kupang area and Banjarmasin. However, smallpox actually began to spread in West Sumatra in early 20th century. Besides smallpox, other diseases such as malaria and tuberculosis had also been experienced during this colonial period in the West Sumatra. Some researchers collected the data and in these diseases in Journal of Tourists for the eradication, the government forfeit the same treatment. The same treatment, thoroughly education on change in community behavior, treatment and control the spread of diseases and health and vaccination. Further, Indonesia also faced with bubonic plague in 1911. The colonial government cut the spread by using the quarantine ordinance, set up a hospital and laboratory to eradicate rat, especially those on sick and isolating patients. Several other epidemics such as dengue fever, leprosy, syphilis, and several others have also infected the Indonesia during the colonial period. From the historical record, it is clear that our society had quite a lot of experience with the disease outbreak. Nonetheless, the problem is now we are still suffering with facing with the COVID-19 disease outbreak. The COVID-19 outbreak somewhat differ from the outbreak that had infected Indonesian society before, whose spread cannot be controlled and can be overcome with vaccine or drug. The absence of drug and vaccine seem to throw us all back to the 19th and 60th century, when the drug and vaccine were still under the study, expert, and their spread was anticipated. This is right anxiety and the community in facing outbreak. However, in the facing in the facing the current, right? We also need to reflect as historical record have shown that vaccine and drug are not the only way to break the chain of spread. Behavior change, government control, and improving public health are important thing to solve the problem. Another important thing is that Another important thing is that in the past, the colonial government involved religious leader in the response to epidemic. Bosma in the smallpox, fashion, and demography divergences in the 19th century colonial Indonesia note that in fact the government also involves community leader in overcoming the smallpox epidemic, especially those outside Java Island. The success in preventing the spread of plague, although there were few areas showing resistance. The way experience in dealing with the past outbreak are important to learn in finding solutions to the problem of today's outbreaks. In tackling in the COVID-19 outbreak, the government policy that take advantage of local wisdom and involve religious figure are needed. As argued by Bosma, I can see in a West Sumatra region, the solution can start the ideal arrangement with the power of exciting local wisdom in West Sumatra, where the majority of population is Minangkabau tribe. The tribe is well known for its matrilineal system in which women not only inherited both bloodlines, but also inherit communal inheritance from the mother line. This asset can be used to fulfill the interests of themselves and their people. The role woman in Minangkabau is not only as a mother, but also as protector of all their children.
Yeah.
Apart of them, they also have the rule. Maybe Juprianto or maybe Novel can help me to understand, to translate with this after this presentation. Limpampeh rumah gadang, ambon puro, ambon pari pagangan kunci, pusek jalo, kumpulan tali, hiasan di dalam kampung, dan sumarak dalam negeri. Okay, well, in the moment, how the principle of inheritance, the men are the leader in the customary structure. Nagari is led by Urang Nan Ampe, Jini, namely the customary leader, Manti adat, Dubalang adat, Malin adat. In addition, the leadership element in Minangkabau is also familiar with the so-called Tiga Sungku Sejarah, which consists of leader, religious scholar, and academician. These three elements synergize to finding solution to various problems in Nagari or village. Furthermore, there is also concept of ranah in Rantau in Minangkabau. People are known as perantau or settler newcomer. Even though they have migrated to their town, remain as their final destination, and the success in offerings is sound by building their hometown. In ideal setting, in the community should be able to be predicted and controlled in handling the virus because the function of order already well maintained. However, this is not yet effective. Until now, the government has not that movement of people exposed to COVID-19 have fluctuated. In some big city like Padang, the figure can increase. Supposedly, this any community order could be solution for the reducing the degree of exposure. Some researchers say that there has been a shift towards function that lead to warning rule. It is not something that cannot be seen with the neck. The interests of the communal family are not strong and are not as strong as they used to. There have not been any tightening either by the community itself or by government. The government has indeed been present, including Mama in tackling COVID-19. Yet it is still in the concept of cultural realm. It is not complementary, as the function itself is starting to become easily broken. The rule of ulama or religious scholars seem to fight and lose its direction because the ulama are divided. When the COVID-19 hit, the debate about the policy to open mosques or close them was heated one. At this point, the state pays through the policy of temporarily closing mosques. Although in the same place, there were still people stubbornly open mosques to the public. This is kind of condition, so the government is not fully heard and obeyed by the religious community, which is one of pillar of the Minangkabau ethnic customary order. However, there is interesting phenomenon during the pandemic, namely the advancement of Chadiak Pandai or academians tackling COVID-19 pandemic. The scholars in West Sumatra seem to be competing to help a government. Dr. Andani Eka Putra, together with team and Andalas University, have the power of thought and tool to accelerate the mapping and growth rate of COVID-19 in West Sumatra. Many lecturers were then involved in the thematic student study service to educate the people, to educate the public about the danger of COVID-19. Various networks were further deployed to mitigate the economic impact. In addition to strengthening the solidarity migrant, many reports from the Perantau have provided the considerable assistance in overcoming COVID-19, not only those who are in the capacity of large entrepreneurs, but also those who are in a small-scale business work hand in hand to save their hometown. In the time of powering the culture structure of the people in current pandemic response, there are parts that move very fast in the response, and there are parts that move slowly or weak. For the reason, the state is here to strengthen. The Nini Mama must be support to clear policy and SOPs in tackling COVID-19 in accordance with the rule applied in the village. Therefore, the Tigo Tungku Jarangan can carry out its role properly. I think that's all my presentation. After this, maybe we can some question to me or to Mr. Bin, and I give floor again to the Mr. Ryan.
To the moderator. Okay, thank you very much, Bu Narni. Well, now it's time for the Q&A section, which are the question and answers. You are allowed to write your question in the text box. If you have a specific person to whom the question is for, please do mention that as well. For anyone who has a question, please send the hand emoji. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just feel free to write your question in the text box. Thank you.
Okay. Let me try to answer. Yeah, like I say, beside the instruction to obey it, to prevent the COVID-19 from the health department, such as not to contacting or not to close contact with the sick individual, frequently wash hands with soap and water, not to touch eye, nose, and mouth, and good practice in the respiratory hygiene by protective mask and social distancing protocol. That is from government instructed. And so everyone will still follow with this instruction, the guideline. But like I said, I have observed the most Daga American affected, the vast majority recover, and not cause severe disease like in American people have the same number infected. So that's why I said this is the scientific point to highlight and question. So my opinion may be or the new strain the virus infected is not exactly like infected American people, or do we have higher capacity to produce antibody to constrain with the COVID-19? So that is we just have question, or are there differences with the body responding with for COVID-19 between Asia or American people? And so that is a lot of questions about this virus. Of course, on the media, they have seen what they report, and especially like Europe, and half the older old people in elderly. So that is mean is that the government do take, and but we are level in first, like us in over here, few people cannot communication, cannot read, cannot write, cannot hearing, just look in TV and spread the community. But luckily, that's why my question. And so whole our community, we not pay attention much about the coronavirus, but we focus a different issue. Like I just say that human-made disaster, the death our language, the death our ethnic identity, the way of life. That is the most of worry, concern most. It's not just like we can see that is so how we say in our community, we say this is disaster of a natural event, but we have another virus. We call it genocidal virus. So this point between politics and between the scientists, but actually we have proved this thing because maybe we are small group people, nobody attention, white are very lucky to resist with the corona COVID-19. That is my question. We still not answer here because actually my community here, we don't have much member mortality like American has. That's it. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Mr. Bibni.
mhm.
This is your next question.
Yeah, this is the same thing. I just answered. The different level of infected people and the resistance of the people responded. So that's why my big question is, does we have, the strain of virus? And actually, when we look at the strain, the many scientists now still divided about the idea of what is strain virus. Some places it's really hard, but the number of infected and mortality is different. And like in my community in North Carolina, in this city we are living, we affected. So like I just mentioned, whole member, and but the the severity is different with American people. That is, I can answer this question. This is still to us. We believe, like I say, we obey how the instruction for the health department, washing hand, not touch mouth, distance social. Exactly, we follow up, but still we have see that is something different. Might be clear or not, not something about the coronavirus. And when we mention about the old day, like I just give example, we have experienced the flu and back to Central High Vietnam, and we can exist 1,000 years. And the people have knowledge that is just separate, guilty from, and not come back until the disease is over. And so the same thing, we believe the coronavirus, it does a disaster, will, but the main thing, that's my opinion, I say, maybe people too much clear the body, scared with the virus. You see, when the people still poor, they eat, they dress, they still live in the, but their body is stronger than the people with the have a good in the economy opportunity. That's why we emphasize here in America. Maybe our community, we still stay in the like a primitive time. So that is why I say depend on the body resistance. It's not totally the condition of disease. That clear? That's why we conception. It's not like we try to convince people it's not this dangerous or not dangerous with corona. Actually, that it is, but the different response from the population to another population. And this is maybe scientific need to go deep down. That's why we are on the rise right now on the rise. Okay, can you read this morning? 22,000 infected. So we still feel free, and we still go, and we still obey all the instruction from the health department with not much, very much. So thank you.
Ryan, there is another question for Mr. Beam. Can you please?
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Pim. I think we
Okay.
have a third question.
What do you think about what should we do with this mindset? So the same thing, that is a struggle with the mindset to believe scientists or to believe with the spiritual. So that's why it's when I make the contact earlier that our people back down there, we not separate with the spiritual and the physical world. And we believe the spirit exists in human and in all the future geographical, like the mountain river. But today is when the scientists is go far away with what we believe. And but now is you see this the disaster and make people headache. So that's why we go back with our nature. We think about when we start from, and we know that it's dangerous, and so we call it being infected. That's mean it's in scientists norm. But when that time we call it the spirit of the evil passed by, make people get sick. And so we still follow up with the protocol ourselves, not to contact, separate if it die. And so the same thing now is that we need to clear this borderline. It's not only the scientist can resolve with this issue, but actually yourself too. Of course, we need to clean our hand, to not to touch air, mouth, but your body is strong too. Antibody is strong too. You see the Mr. Trump just 1 day, 2 day in hospital. What the scientists do to them? Molecular antibody, very expensive, 100,000 to inject for Mr. Trump get out 1 day. So why the scientists go back with the immune system? It's clear now with the indigenous people why they exist. And so now it's the mindset of the government, the knowledge. So of course now we have a question. The scientist can go to the mark, analyze it, and it does from the mark, and they can create a various vaccine, but they cannot to stop with the we call this genocide that is killing environment, the people, the language, identity. It's the same thing we struggle with the death. So this is that's why I do not conflict with the early day. Of course, that time we not drive car. Today we can drive in the highway freely, but still your foot need to touch on the ground, so that make your neuron body is stronger than people just drive car. That's what we believe. And now it's exactly we protest. Why American around us the mortality high, even the same number of infected, but we are still trusting with the
Setelah
body.
satu pertanyaan lagi.
Thank you.
Kasih ke Ibu.
Well, thank you, Mr. Beam. I think slide number 4 is also yours.
Not the question. Okay. George Floyd case last May, you turn to what the coronavirus. Yeah, this is the I have not shared about the George Floyd, but I just shared with now Mr. Trump just recently, and we have follow up what the doctor treat for him, and we see that is the all the option, and when the final conclusion with the team of doctor and everyone agree with the new one molecular antibody inject in the Mr. Trump. It's not like a melatonin. It's not like a, another drug, but that thing is the let them more cover. It's not same to see Mr. Floyd. Mr. Floyd is a different thing that when is the, the black people still have a problem like us. The experience is already a genocide, and the supremacy in the United States is still the it's not changed much, but it's still people still learn. They face like the Indian, the American, and exactly the same like us, but the American have changed the view of the past and right now. So the Indian people now they have self-government and they contact level with government like another government. And now is the Black American the same thing situation, but now they have recognized the history of a slave, the history of a genocide. That is now they change it. And so that's why we are minority in America. We just look in that way how to survive. It's different from exact where we came from Vietnam. Authority, the ideology, nobody can change. But here they can change it. And even they're not perfect yet. But we have seen the American black people we can learn from, and then we can still survive. And we still struggle everything like we just discussed about. And we still catch up, and we still keep our way of life too as well. And maybe someday I will talk more when my English is better and I can continue with the colleges to explain this. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Beam, for all your answers. I hope the people who asked the questions they understood. And the next slide, number
Welcome.
5, goes to Miss Jenny Narni. Please, silakan.
Thank you. Okay. Oke, ini pertanyaan dari I use bahasa Indonesia to answer from question from the Nandri Yuanda. Banyak pakar kesehatan menyarankan pemerintah Indonesia mempertimbangkan kemungkinan pembatasan wilayah ketat lockdown demi antisipasi tambahan jumlah. Menurut Bapak Ibu tentang peraturan tersebut, saya melihat kurang dalam membuat peraturan ketat sehingga banyak masyarakat acuh saja dan meningkat. Bagaimana cara meningkatkan pendidikan di Indonesia lewat daring karena jauh banyak keluhan sampaikan mahasiswa lewat daring. Maaf, Ini menarik. Ada 2 pertanyaan dalam satu slide ini. Yang pertama adalah mempertimbangkan kemungkinan pembatasan lockdown karena masyarakat acuh saja dengan kondisi yang sedang terjadi. Ini kondisi sulit sebetulnya untuk pemerintahan Indonesia karena kita kalau mau honestly, kalau kita mau bicara jujur, pemerintah kita pasti tidak akan cukup uang kalau kita melockdown sampai 2-3 bulan. Tapi kalau tidak di lockdown, maka kondisi akan cepat sekali bertambah. Kita pernah mengalami lockdown untuk di Sumatera Barat itu beberapa lama dan intensitas dari angkanya itu menurun dengan cepat. Namun kemudian ketika dibuka dan orang merasa new normal itu sudah menjadi biasa saja. Jadi bukan new normal namanya, kembali normal. Yang kita kasihan adalah orang-orang merasa bukan new normal, bukan hidup dalam situasi yang baru, tapi hidup dalam kondisi yang kembali normal. Itu sebuah dua kata yang berbeda, dua pemaknaan yang berbeda. Yang terjadi di kita adalah, terutama untuk di Sumatera Barat ini, saya sendiri melihat, kita semua melihat bagaimana orang tidak acuh saja. Ketika new normal, pakai masker, pakai cuci tangan dan sebagainya itu tidak dilakukan oleh banyak orang. Kita masih melihat wedding party masih ada, wedding party masih ada.
Lurus lah.
Ini pasti ada yang mengganggu. Maaf untuk ini, dan slide saya mulai disorek-coret. Terima kasih untuk yang sudah mengganggu ya. Mudah-mudahan Anda mendapatkan hidayah setelah ini, karena kami sedang mencoba sharing ilmu pengetahuan. Tidak hanya untuk Anda, tapi tidak hanya untuk kami, tapi juga mungkin berguna untuk Anda. Oke, saya lanjutkan. Dan kita melihat semua orang tidak pakai masker. Dan semua orang acuh saja. Dan itu yang terjadi. Dan kita dihadapkan pada bahkan buah si malakama. Kita lockdown, maka ekonomi tidak baik. Kalau ekonomi tidak berjalan, maka itu akan cepat sekali bertindak. Sebetulnya yang diharapkan adalah kepada kita. Pemerintah itu sedang mengharapkan kepada kita untuk mematuhi aturan yang ada. Artinya protokol COVID itu memang harus kita jalankan. Mungkin tidak banyak yang percaya dengan protokol COVID, karena memang edukasi untuk itu sangat-sangat, artinya kita mencoba melakukan edukasi, tapi kemudian banyak orang yang kemudian tidak percaya. Tapi yang harus kita lakukan sekarang adalah kami di akademisi itu mencoba melakukan edukasi melalui apakah itu melalui KKN, melalui pengabdian masyarakat, dan paling penting adalah di Anda mahasiswa sebetulnya. Kalau Anda bisa mengedukasi diri Anda sendiri untuk hidup bersih, mencuci tangan, kemudian mengikuti protokol, mungkin kita akan bisa, mungkin tidak akan membuat kasus ini bisa turun dengan cepat, tapi mungkin bisa kita mengurangi kasus-kasus tersebut. Kami sedih karena di mahasiswa saja itu sudah, di mahasiswa kami saja sudah 3 orang, belum lagi di tempat-tempat lain. Dan kami mencatat lebih dari sudah puluhan mahasiswa di Universitas Andalas itu terkena COVID. Jadi sebetulnya Anda mahasiswa adalah garda utama untuk mematuhi aturan itu, mulai berpikir bahwa situasi negara kita dengan kondisi nakes, dengan kondisi ekonomi, dengan kondisi keterbatasan dari tenaga kesehatan. Kalau kita mau blaming bahwa pemerintah tidak bekerja, kalau kita mau blaming nakes terlalu lebay atau segalanya, itu tidak akan menghasilkan jalan solusi apapun. Karena yang diperlukan sekarang bukan blame each other, bukan itu, not that. Jadi bukan itu jalan keluar. tapi bagaimana kita mengedukasi diri kita masing-masing. Ekonomi tetap berjalan, tapi kita mengedukasi diri kita dan tetangga kita mulai dari hal-hal yang seperti itu mungkin. Itu jawaban saya. Nah, kemudian kuliah daring. Nah, sulit sekali untuk kuliah daring. Iya, karena pemerintah kita tidak siap dan kita juga tidak siap. Secara infrastruktur, kita belum, daerah-daerah pelosok itu tidak akan dapat signal yang sangat baik. Nah, ini akan menyulitkan. Biasanya kalau saya dengan mahasiswa adalah memberikan sebanyak-banyaknya literatur sehingga mereka bisa untuk membaca di rumah. Kalaupun harus men-share video, itu pun dalam skala yang sangat kecil, artinya bisa dengan kuota yang skala yang sangat kecil sehingga mudah untuk di-download. Dan selanjutnya adalah seperti ini. Kami mencoba memberikan pengetahuan melalui webinar ini kepada Anda semua sehingga bisa menutupi hal-hal yang tidak bisa Anda dengarkan di kampus dan tetap dalam situasi akademisi. Seperti itu jawaban saya. Kemudian selanjutnya tolong Mbak Dewi.
Okay. So
there are conflict between customer stakeholder pemangku adat dan government in handling Minangkabau now or local periods. Oke, Mbak Mur, kita ketemu lagi. Berharap Mbak Mur sehat. Yeah, Mbak Mur. This is not in the colonial periods. In the colonial periods, especially I got the data, especially for the religious people, they are hand to hand with the government to try to survive from the pandemic, from the epidemic, from the diseases, especially from the epidemic. And this is no conflict, I think, in the colonial period. That maybe there is a conflict, but not many. But now, as I say, there's religious people, that some of them they try to support the government, but the other still struggle with the many questions to the government. Why mosques should be closed and something
why
like
schools
that. This is
should be closed.
Yeah. This is especially for the why school, and then this especially why Pilkada still running, and why we cannot go to the mosque. And this is there is the many question to the government now. If we do not, jika kita ingin, if we can say this is a conflict in there, but yeah, there is a many question to government, especially from the religious people and also from the we are umat in here, and this is like not fair. While Pilkada and wedding party and many crowded people, still the government allowed it, and not for the go to the mosque. And this is something that's really crucial question to the government, but there is no answer. There is no good answer from them actually. And then that's Mbak Amur. Next question.
Okay.
This is from Pak Wan. Okay, thank you for your appreciate, Pak Wan of Risamri. Pak Wan of Risamri, one of my colleagues and also my senior in the history department. He is really good lecturer, especially in doing research with the media pers and media, and also Indonesian identity. Okay, what the question? Do you know what the strength of local wisdom in to survive the world, and how they manage to operate in the past and traditional? What the traditional concept meaning of what the traditional concept meaning people about this is? This is like I said before, this, and in the colonial period, the colonial government try to collaborate, work hand to hand with the religious people in the colonial period. And but now what the traditional concept, we have the, like I say, we have the ulama, Cedia Pandai, we have this is the religious concept, this is the cultural concept that I try to explain in this paper. And then now the religious people have a big question for the government, but in the colonial period, the government success to work together hand to hand with the ulama or the religious people. This and next question. Well, that's many questions. Okay, to me. Okay, another question.
Yeah, from Rain Cornell. Rain
Okay.
Cornell, answer.
Yes,
Okay, this is
from me.
question about slide 10 in perpetuity. Dewi, could you share the PPT or no? Maybe the last question I answer. Maybe the next question before we go to the PPT. Okay, before we go to the PPT, maybe the next question and the last question, Dewi.
Yeah, this is last question from the try to answer with the Renu, and what? Let me try to explain for him for this one. So many case positive around the world, and how this end or where it will end. So let I say it. The strain of virus, the virus is not. It's like something like a human. It can spread up. It can develop. And so that's why it's new strain. Today, this year, maybe next year, available vaccine, but sure, just one strain. Because this is natural, natural changing. It will separate strain will develop. And then that's mean another year we'll have another virus. So virus is cycle, so it never end. And the people is trying to cope with the coronavirus now. Just hope when the vaccine available, and when everybody get a vaccine, but not sure if the antibody in the population not produce enough. That is the two conflicting ideology here. Because you see, look at the story and the flag, whatever, influenza, the spread keep high up all the peak. When enough people die, when enough people produce enough anti, then it go down. That time, vaccine, right? But the same thing is now. Maybe after this vaccine, scientists we created a new vaccine, but never end with the virus. It can drop with the coronavirus, COVID wave 2. That is this trend, but another trend. We're not sure how it will be end. Any question? It's clear that point? So,
No, thank you.
Okay.
How about Miss Yani?
Okay. Okay. This is but like I say, that virus that many years ago, virus. This is like we are living with the virus.
yeah,
Yeah, we are living with the virus. This I'm agree with it, and I'm agree with this. There's our knowledge and our the old technology and that this vaccine or something, the medicine, then and our scientists try to survive our life, but we cannot deny that we are living with this virus. But I think we are now we have to change. Yes, we know this is the virus now, and the scientific go with their knowledge, with their research or something like that. But as I'm a historian and also learning from what happened in his story also, this is how we change our life. And some people in the past survive with the change their life more healthy and more clean or something like that. And now we do not know, maybe after that the virus come again, and we change also our life, we change our attitude, we change our custom, or many of our action, and maybe how we live with the virus is also changing now. And I'm not denying with the scientific. I'm not denying with the scientific. I believe it is will help us, but that's really important now, and how we can change our life to survive from this virus, and maybe the next virus will come also, and we change again. I think this is the point for me. And can I go the next slide, Rian?
Yes, Bu, of course.
Okay. Okay, from Vira Andalas University, I want to ask about COVID-19 outbreak. Why the news and spread is too high profile? Because it's for the area when the gathering, there are those who don't comply with the protocol. It has no impact. Don't comply with it, it has no impact. Who don't comply then? Why that news spread to high profile? Because in several other areas, when they are gathering, there are those who don't comply with the protocol and has no impact. Thank you. Okay, if I not make a mistake and misunderstanding, this is that sometimes people gathering and maybe gathering with big or crowded and not get diseases. This is talking about the antibody. I think talking about the antibody in Indonesia, we saw this is maybe virus in their body, but there is the virus just waiting time. Why just in waiting time to just waiting time to spread their I think to spread what I call to I think just watching this is okay, make it clear with it. Yes, some of people who gathering not get impact, but I'm not sure they not get impact because because the sum of maybe the sum of people in there have the virus, but the antibody their antibody still strong, and just waiting time when they are weak, they will get the disease. If I not get the mistake, yeah, with this question. Okay, Fira, is it true? Fira, can you hear me? Fira?
Yes, Mom. Thank you.
Is it what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. What the next question? Okay.
Are there any more questions? Just feel free to send your question into the text box.
No question anymore? Okay. If there is no question, I ask a question to Mr. Beam?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Beam.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Beam. The minority, the Dega minority in India. Could you tell your experience how they struggle, with the two ideology that spreads the two ideology to manage the COVID-19 in the US, and how they are how they struggle. This is what I mean what the Dega choice for that, for the two ideology to manage the COVID-19 in United States.
This is it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, the same thing that is I just explained, because this America is a modern society, and the knowledge about the hygiene is very high. Everything is we need to be clean. Everything is need to be avoided. So that's why is you see the cultures in American people. They always eating. They use washing hand, not to touch, and then really super clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we try to learn with the American, it's a good thing. We try to think about to be clean, everything. But when the now is the disaster, whole the world deal with this thing, and then we still afraid like this, information now is deadly pneumonia, especially for the elder people and especially for the existing health condition, so on. And when is the we cannot avoid it because everywhere, when we go to shop, everything, then get sick and get sick when it is from the like I just give example, whole chuck and every still body, but suddenly it's not some people. No, I don't care. I don't want to go to hospital. Yeah, I'm sick, and when they test positive, and many people get sick, and they still stay home. Myself too. I don't want to go there home to visit. And one of my friends just stay away, we keep mask. And with next day I said, what do you experience? He said, strange. I never experienced like this. It looked like a lost every mouth, not to test everything. So it got nearly dead. Really? So and then next day he just drink and then do normally and just week went out. And then when he spread back with the choke, don't much worry. I experience. I see because we used to be dirty. We eat dirty. We contact with them every day. And that's why it's maybe our body too strong. So that is why it should be conception. That's why I try to say we fear about the human-made disaster, not the natural disaster. Of course, people die, but one point, one stop, it will calm down. That is to be the conception, and now everybody is still. So that's why it's many people just confused. Why in America a lot of the paper information, but we are here. I still go work every day, go to market every day, and we just follow up with the protocol. That is it. But we still believe that our body is strong.
But
The, that is
I think
the
I think I think I think you get the support from the some people in here. I think what
no,
you do, and that
no.
no. This is like this. Do you
Uh-huh.
believe? Maybe it's easy for you to believe
Okay.
your body will
Yeah.
increase the antibody of virus in there,
Yeah.
because in your country there is the plenty of the healthy food or something healthy food, and then and the environment also clean and everything. And but in here is it
So
okay if
okay.
you because that's we not many people will get the healthy food, especially
Mhm.
for from the like this, and we are not a modern country, and then this is if we
Okay.
there's
Okay.
many country
Let me
not
try to explain
not
you.
easy to get the health food for their people.
Okay.
The
I
poor people
understand.
is
I
still in
understand.
here, then how to increase their
See,
body also. And then if they are increase their body because of food, and how it
okay.
come in this poor country.
Okay. Let me share my experience because I've been living in the Western world more than 30 years now. We
Hmm.
meet in the Europe, right? We see
Yeah.
their food, right? And
Okay.
America, plenty of food, right?
Yeah.
Plenty of meat, right?
Yep.
But let me say, I'm experienced when indigenous people back in Vietnam. I'm not say not eat. I'm not say like that. But I say we eat for live, right? We have vegetable, we have little meat, and we have much exercise, go to farm, climb the mountain. You see here in America, meat, when you eat like this, they never touch vegetable. They never go. My next house here, the lady and old man here, I never see they get out from the sunshine. Always stay home, TV, drive the car, eat plenty food, but they are not healthy. But now they still take medicine. But they got people here go to farm. You see my video, a lot
Yeah.
of rice,
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
eating vegetable. So let me emphasize this is the true scientist truth. The American people now try to eat dirty. I will beg you. Why?
No, but how
Right.
about the data? No, no. How about the data from the history when the colonial government in our in our country make a clean every the healthy, give the healthy food, give the faction, and then also give the and also try to make the healthy
The
environment and
economy.
clean and everything, and the number of the disease down.
So
Well, how
this
about
is
the data? Because
this
the data from the historian said like that.
because like this, you see, I'm not saying too much not eat, but you eat need to balance. You not get this point? The balance with the poor and rich. Don't much too rich, then you die. Eat too much, then you die. Don't pour enough nutrition, you die. Correct? So be
Yeah.
happy where you are. Be happy like you. So you see, my trip, I when I travel around the world, I'm not say I I had to know the part of the world, but I mostly I spend over there because like we eat fresh, we eat healthy, not chemical much. In here, everything from the meat you eat, antibiotic, hormone. You see, then people get sick. So don't think about to be rich is happy. No.
Okay. And right, Riyad, we have a Rafando in here.
Ya, Bu.
Uh-huh. Pando, you want to join with uh, you with the historian data about this topic? Pando, you are still with us? Okay, maybe Fando not with us. Okay, but like you say, this is like you got the wisdom from your uh, work,
Experience.
from your experience.
Experience.
Okay.
Yes. So that's
Okay.
why I say a story is the past, but it will teach you the present and future. and the people will be destroyed if they forget their own history and deny it. The same thing with the world, with the virus, with the same thing. We need to go back with your body, with
I
your
think
clean.
okay. I think I'm still believe in the historian data, and also we have to make collaboration with the we have to also not only from the archive data but also the experience from the
From the past.
people like you. And in history we call this is that like collective memory or historical memory. I think this is the point that we have to put in the all research for the not maybe not for the historian uh, for the many scientific also, because different country and different people have the different experience to fight with the pandemic. Okay, I think we have to give this floor to the Ryan again.
Yes, bro. I had one more question about the slide number 10. Would that be okay to explain about that?
What is
Thank you.
this one?
Yes, that one.
What the question?
I did not understand this slide, this one.
Okay. Yeah, I do not give the slides yet. Right. Give me a second. Who has this? Who has this? This is the person. Okay, this is the ideal concept from the Minangkabau. This is the ideal concept of Minangkabau. We have this is the nuclear family, and what I said is okay. This is the ideal concept in Minangkabau, and we still use this one. And this is what is we call village, yeah, village, and we have the what we call this this had also, yeah. This is nuclear inti. This is nuclear family. They have mother, children, and in here, and this is like the mother the mother bloods, yeah. In this parui, there are the mother sister. This is the sister blood in here, sister blood, and this is our what they call as that's grandmother, the sister of grandmother, and in living in Parui, and in this is in the Parui. This is the sum of nuclear family, but only for the sister bloods. It means the husband is not part of our bloods in the matrilineal concept. And then this is, and it also, if there are many and more, we call the kaum or jurai. This is like the community. And if there are more and more, and in the line of sister blood, we call in the suku, and the many suku will create the nagari, and all this in the sister blood. And no, and if the husband will be a part of be a part of their his sister blood also. This means husband not a part of, like me, not a part of our sister blood, and but my children is be part of my blood, my sister blood, and in here, okay. I think this like this. Okay, another question. Is it okay?
Yeah, but that's okay. Thank you. Does anyone else has a question to
Nanti
ask?
okay. Okay. There
Okay.
is no question?
No questions anymore?
Okay.
Any
Yeah.
more comment, Dr. Bim and Bu Yani?
Yeah.
I think now, I'm happy with the presentation today. There's many questions also for us, for me, and then I'm happy also we have the different way to looking. The different way to looking this pandemic, especially for the Mr. Rai, Mr. Bim. We have the different way to look how to survive from the pandemic, and then but this is good how to we can try to collaborate also as a historian. This is a good point also for me, and that's I would like to say thank you for all participants and the student and the college also to be a part in this discussion, especially for the Rafando. Thank you, Rafando, to be in this join, to being the to be part of this discussion, and also Mr. Jupandro, Novel, and people from the offices also. And especially for my students, thank you very much. And this is ini langkah, ya. Hope you will get the some experience, and you will get the more knowledge about this pandemic. I think that's all. Thank you, Ryan, and maybe the time for the Ryan or maybe for the Bim.
Well, thank you very much, Bu.
Thank you.
I see two people with raising their hands. I read Robis and Ika Primilia Muslim. Does that mean that you have a question to ask, or is it just an emoji hand? Robis and Muslim? I think they're not here.
Maybe give the time to Mr. Bim. Maybe
Okay.
Mr. Bim wanna say something.
Mr. Bim,
Okay.
do you have any comment?
So they ask me or I say the comment?
No. Do you have anything else to
Closing
say?
statement.
Okay.
Closing
Then
statement?
finally, I want to say that is from my experience when I practiced back in my home in Central Highland, Vietnam, and that time I had seen little people get diabetes, hypertension, cancer that time. But now, when I learn back when they say economy development, and now people facing this disaster. So that's why it's now in here. The same thing we must go back with the conception earlier, how to be very healthy. Don't too much scare like stop your children go to school because coronavirus. Well, yes, they can infect it, but don't stop their natural body development because the body needs development since the childhood. They grow up and then they will cope with the natural environment surrounding them, even virus. If you stop them, they will sick later on. That is my comment for you over there and in other part of the world. And we are still proud of it, keep ourselves from the natural way from where we come from. And then finally, I want to say identity, ethnicity, your language, everything need to keep yourself, even what the world changing. Your body is strong enough to gain with the virus. Maybe this one is a bit different with the spiritual belief, but we believe stronger with the scientists beside and our believers still go hand by hand. Thank you. That's it, my
Yeah,
comment.
thank you very much, Miss Dr. Bim.
Thank you.
If I may share something about my own experience as an
Okay.
international student here, I've been
Okay.
living in Indonesia for 2 years already. This
Okay.
is my second year.
Okay.
I have experienced lots of things here. I have gone through struggles, obstacles, but I also made wonderful memories. This is the first time I got to experience this. I never had online classes before, to be honest. Like, I believe most of us never had that. Um, in my experience so far that I want to share with everyone here, it's many of us, we have families here and we stay with our families. I have no one here. So during this pandemic, I stay at the dormitory almost every day. Yeah, let's just say every day. I only go out when it's
Mm,
necessary, when I need to do grocery shopping. I always wear a mask. And the moment I get back, I always take a shower.
mm, mhm,
But it's not just any shower, guys. It's full up with soap.
mhm.
And I have this anxiety as well. I need to eat fruits every day.
That's good.
So to keep myself healthy, to keep myself steady, I wake up every day, of course, just like everyone. But I mean, I wake up every morning. I do yoga in the morning. And then I just follow the online classes. If I have assignments to do, I do that. In the afternoon, I work out a bit, I exercise a bit. And in the evening, I I watch a movie or yeah, I watch a movie or I'm busy with my assignments. So compared to me or due to my experience, I know that it's a tough moment, a tough period that we're going through. We miss being together. And with together, I'm talking about we miss hanging out freely, openly. I miss traveling. Um, what else? We miss going to school. We miss meeting and
Mm,
seeing our friends, classmates, even lecturers, because especially when we have a bond with our lecturers, it's always a
mhm,
nice thing to meet each other again. I know it's a rough time, but I just want to tell everyone, stay put, stay calm.
mhm.
Everything will be all right before you think. So yeah, I hereby would like to thank Miss Yani Narni, Dr. Bimni, and everyone else who participated during this learningful event. I just want to remind everyone not to forget to take care of yourself, wear a mask anywhere you go,
Mhm.
wash your hands often, which means not only once or twice, stay safe and protected. Remember that life is a gift. I apologize for the mistake. If there's any mistake I made, I apologize for that. But once again, I thank everyone for the participation and of course the host. I am Rain and it was an honor being the moderator. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next.
Next, Ryan, can you give the closing speech for the Mr. Anatona?
Oh yeah. For the closing statement, closing speech, I would hereby would like to um, give the mic, the audio to Mr. Anatona.
Daan?
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for 3 consecutive days, starting Tuesday until this Saturday, we have held the International Conference on Health in Asia. Many of the lessons we have learned during this conference were conveyed by extraordinary and wonderful experts. Therefore, let us express our gratitude to all keynote speakers, namely Pak Profesor Hans Vols, Ibu Profesor Rebecca Fanani, Ibu Dia Pitaloka PhD, Pak Zulprianto, Mas Ravando, Ms. Wahyu Suryani, Ibu Yeni Narni PhD, and Pak Dr. Dini, who have presented their papers from multiple perspectives. I would like to say many thanks to Ibu Dia Cahaya Iman, PhD from Indonesia, Ibu Dr. Annie Pullman from Australia, and Karyo Rejo Reinhardt from Suriname, who have guided the discussion for the past 3 days as the moderators. Furthermore, I also want to express our gratitude to all the participants who attended this event during these 3 days, both participants from Indonesia and from abroad. With all of you, this wouldn't have been possible. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to express our gratitude to all committees, starting from the chair, Ibu Yeni Narni, Pak Yudi Andoni, and Pak Oka, to our students, Rizky, Dewi, Febri, and Cynthia, who helped and worked hard making the conference success. Finally, as the conference organizer, of course, there are many shortcomings. We would like to apologize profusely if the holding of this conference is inconvenience. Okay, on behalf of Head of Department of History, Faculty of Humanities of Andalas University, we say thankful to God. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Hereby, I close this conference. To you, see you again at the upcoming events. That is all, and thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Well, audience, this time to us to close the ICONHEALTH 2020. See you in the other events. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Keluar
Bu.
dulu. Okay.
Goodbye,
Bim,
everyone.
okay. Okay, thanks, Ran. Thanks, Bim. Okay. Terima kasih, Pak Anatona. Thank you for the student also. Okay. The time for us to leave now. Bye-bye.